Nora posts up. So I'm going to kick this leg through as I hook this leg. As I hook this leg with my arm, I take this leg underneath. So I'm trying to get my hips from out in front, underneath it first. So I'm going to go here. I'll point these toes, inside. Hug your kneecap, hug your shins. Okay? We'll talk about what to do right here in a second. One more time. Okay, sweeping, she posts up. Yep, so here I'm going to take this leg through. You can dig your toes in that if you need to. I'm hooking this leg underneath. So I'm going, see I'm facing my hips straight up. Now my hips are right where her hips are, directly underneath. I'm facing, pointing the ceiling, pointing my chest to the ceiling, my hips to the ceiling. Hug, set this foot inside. Always the back leg goes over top. You don't want to go back leg underneath. It doesn't look weird. Back leg over top, okay? And hug this nice and tight. Yeah, that's what you want to do. And same thing, curl your toes, curl your feet. You don't want limp hooks. You want nice, nice, strong hooks. Okay, and first on top, I'm sorry, yeah. First on top, go ahead and just, whenever you pose, go and give yourself a nice, comfortable base. So that way you can give your partner time to figure it out. If you start getting really extended, you start getting kind of shaky because your legs are tired. So get back to this. There's guys that have 900 options from X-Guard. They have all these little nuanced sweeps and grips and grabs and variations on what they do. And that's what makes it fun. Especially if there's a heat, there's a lot you can do with it. But having the foundation of these 3 basic sweeps is gonna blossom into everything else you want to take it here. If you don't have these 3, you have a lot of trouble. So we're gonna skip right to the X-Guard position, just for the sake of time here. So I'm in X-Guard, right here. Okay. So how I sweep Nora depends on what grip I have. Okay. So if I'm here, this hand, in jiu-jitsu you should very rarely have an empty hand. Your hand should always be doing something. If you find your hand's empty, you should find something to do with it. So right here, if my hand's empty, I need to think about a grip. Okay. So if Nora's kind of protecting her hands a little bit, you know, she's trying to start peeling off hooks or whatever, you know, it's hard for me to get a grip on something right away. So that's why with this position, I keep her in hug, I start extending. Yeah, so when she starts basing, I just brought her wrist into range here. So if I get her near wrist, okay, I'm going to sweep her backwards. So if I have her near wrist, I'm just going to be in this position here, I extend her just a little bit. Now my bottom hook falls, and it's going to just extend that leg just a little bit more. Take her over. And there's a couple things you can do here. A, be wary of the triangle. Okay, if you kind of hang on to this grip, see I'm an underhook here, I'm going to fall right into this if you're not careful. Which is why when I'm here, I keep this foot floating just a little bit and come up over the top. Right? If you don't want to come up over the top, just let go of that wrist, bring this in, and just protect yourself as you stand in base. Okay? But you got the sweep. So from here, got my X-Guard position. Okay, if I'm having trouble getting to a wrist, I'm just going to just stretch her out. I always want to mess with her base. If I don't have anything, just pretend like you do. You don't want her to find solid ground here. Start extending. So as soon as she starts kind of basing out, that near wrist is in range, just grab that near wrist, keep your elbow hugged in here. And from here, I'm going to extend this a little bit more. Bottom foot drops. I'm just kind of just kicking it just like this. Just a little bit of extension. Doesn't take much, but I'm kind of leaning my head into her shin at the same time, getting a little pressure this way. Here. And from here, I can just jump over the top, pass, or I can just pull this in, just come up in a nice safe position. One more time. Do all at the beginning. So I'm here, I go for my sweep. Nora hops up, right away underneath. She starts posturing back up. Send this out, get that wrist. Put that bottom edge. Real simple sweep. Come up over top. My pass. That's the beautiful pie in the sky variation. Okay? If Nora's standing up, it's really easy for you to get here and get this near wrist. But a lot of times it's difficult doing with that near wrist if her hands are on the mat. Like if I just dug into this position with butterfly guard. So here, she has a little bit different, her base is a little different, right? Because she's got 2 posts down and 2 posts down here. So she has 4 different points of control. It's really difficult for just stretching to do anything. When I run into the risk of happening, she just kind of starts crawling out of this. Or she does like a crazy bear crawl and just runs away. Go, just start bear crawling. Just kind of runs out of the position here. And you see a lot of guys do that. They just go caveman. They go, so you have to have an answer for that. So if she's postured up, immediately in my head, we talk about triggers all the time, right? I'm going near wrist. As soon as I get that near wrist, she can't post on the mat. very difficult for her to get base if she goes tripod like this. She feels very awkward and uncomfortable. She's sporting a lot of weight on this arm. So she's very reluctant to go forward. If she has both hands down, I can't really do anything with this near wrist. So I'm gonna go for the far wrist. So as soon as you see those hands hit the mat, you should be thinking far wrist. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna do almost like a standing single leg position. Then the important thing is to know the direction I'm moving. I'm not going this way, I want to go diagonally. I want to go towards the hand I'm grabbing. Okay, almost like I was trying to make her do a forward roll. When I get this wrist, I'm going to extend here. Now that I keep extending, keep this wrist, I put this foot down, start coming up. Here, as I control this leg nice and tight, I can start dropping in, do a little bit of scramble. Again, I do this all the time. So I promise you it works. I don't show you anything that doesn't work. Well, there's one move I showed you that didn't work. I'm not going to tell you which one it is.
It's yours to figure out.
It could have been weeks ago. So she's posting her hands on the mat. So I'm going far wrist, okay? Just going here. From here, I'm stretching her out again. And when I'm stretching her out, I'm starting to try to take weight off of this foot. I'm starting to kind of just lift her up a little bit, driving weight this way. Now all of her weight's on her far foot and her far hand. Now I keep this leg just a little elevated. I just put this foot down, come up with my elbow. Start coming forward, okay? It looks like it'd be a really difficult position, but it's actually very intuitive. It's the balance and the control is pretty strong. If she kind of powerhouses back, I go back into the first one, okay? One more time, guys. So here, just go here, extend. I'm trying to sit up, so I'm trying to get weight forward. Very easy. Very nice control. Like I said, they posture up, near wrist, double backwards. Yeah, see, so basically what happens here, more just goes slow with the in on that. See how this leg extends? She drops right into the knee bar. Very easy just to take this over and start extending this, okay? I hit a lot of high-level guys with that stupid knee bar. Just because they get so frustrated with X guard, they just turn out of it. So you're here, and this is a bummer, but my knees are safe. It's really difficult to hop into a leg lock right away. That takes a lot of hip rotation. But as soon as I go like this, I extend that leg and I kind of put it right over top of your hips. I kind of drop it in the knee lock position. It happens real happens real quick, and you have to have some guts to go for it because you have to abandon your position. So it's one of those things that once you feel it, once you hit it a couple times, you'll be kind of hoping they run. It just drops right in there. It's kind of like them extending their arm for you. You just have to set your legs. One more time. In order to start to turn to run, let's pop in. Get this knee bar real quick. You can do a lot of dirty things with the knee bar. You can start doing this stuff. But normally you're not in this position already and you're just hipping into it and you're good to go. Happens real fast. We'll get some reps in on more of the X guard stuff next week. That's our last week of half guard. And we'll do some more stuff after that. Unless you guys have another request. There's a person that requested Kimura says we've been here quite a month. So
They're waiting for more.
yeah, they're waiting for Kimura. There you go. All right.